It's netball zone time. Join us on the couch as we talk all things round 4.
We go back and forth all over the place. Oh my goodness, the Magic get the win.
Take a trip down memory lane with Silver Fern number 26 and chat to this legend of the game. All that and more. Let's get in the zone.
Kia ora mai tātou, welcome into Netball Zone. Ko Courtney Taidioho, alongside me Cruz Tangira. Well, kia ora Cruz, how about that one? We thought it was going to be a close match between the Tactics and the Magic, but it did end up blowing out the Tactics with 17 points over the Magic in the end.
Well, it was a close one in that first quarter, Coco. The Magic actually winning that by 1, but as Amelia Inacanacio said in her post-match interview, it sort of all went downhill from there. We mentioned in the halftime interviews, Coco, that just the simple errors were the sort of the letdown for the Magic, but for the Tactics, incredible effort from them. Jane Watson, Carden Berger, again, picking up so much ball. Greer Sinclair playing wing defence for the Tactics. I don't think she gets enough credit because she really sets up those intercepts. And, of course, down the other end, the shooting combination between Tapaya and Aliyah Dunn was fantastic tonight.
It sure was. Speaking of Aliyah Dunn, she was the player of the match. So let's head down to Christchurch and chat to Aliyah. Well, Aliyah, thank you for joining us. Congratulations. Your initial analysis of that match, shooting 100% yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't been shooting as well as I have previously, so yeah, pretty happy with that performance.
And Aliyah, Kimmy just said in her post-match interview that she feels like the team's getting better and better. In terms of your shooting combination with Tapaya, do you feel like that's the same as well?
Yeah, I agree with Kimmy. I think our attacking end has come a long way since our first game. And I think that reflects in our shooting too, because we're getting like such great ball from our mid-quarters. So yeah, I think we've done a really good job tonight.
And Aliyah, how are you finding yourself fitting in at the Tactics and getting to work with the likes of Donna Wilkins, who is a legend of our game?
Yeah, I'm loving having Dons on our sideline. I think she's really good to work with, and also with Tapaya and Kimmy in there. Like I haven't really worked with them before, so it's been heaps of fun just trying to get to know each other on and off the court.
That's
Well,
better.
of course, Aliyah, a new environment for you down at the Tactics just this year. What's one thing that's sort of surprising you or pleasing you so far down in that region?
I actually like the city. Like I didn't think I would enjoy it as much because I've loved Wellington, but yeah, it's actually quite nice. It's not too big and not too small, so yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And Aliyah, how's the body played yesterday and having to back up today with such a strong performance?
It's actually not too bad, surprisingly. I think we got absolutely smashed during pre-season, so yeah, I'm feeling not too bad.
Well, as mentioned, you are playing the Stars this weekend up here in Auckland. Is there any sort of room for improvement within your team that you want to focus on in this week's training?
Yeah, I definitely think there's heaps of room to improve on our through court. Like our D is so good at getting ball, but we haven't quite been able to score them because we tend to like rush for some reason. But I think if we just like kind of take our time on through court, we'll definitely get the score in the end.
How important was the win tonight? Because you guys have gone 3 in a row, and I'm pretty sure at the top of the ladder at the moment.
Yeah, I think if we solidified tonight's when we were going to be top of the table, I think that's pretty huge for us. Yeah, and we just need to keep doing that throughout the rest of the games.
And Aliyah, of course, it is the World Cup year in July. Does that add any pressure to you in terms of selections to make sure that you perform consistently?
I haven't really thought about that just because I'm like been moved into a new environment, so I'm just still trying to get used to our game day processes, like our weekly trainings, and just mingling with the girls on and off the court.
Well, Aliyah, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on an outstanding performance tonight.
Cool, thank you.
Well, Aliyah Dunn, as mentioned, 100% cruise, 43 from 43, but it was also her work rate, I feel, tonight, and her combination, like she said, with the attacking end.
Yeah, fantastic combination, but also the presentation that she gives to the ball. She either has that front screen where she presents to the ball, or she creates really good space for herself on that baseline to move into that pass. But again, 100% for Aliyah Dunn. 1 rebound, 1 deflection as well. So fantastic performance from her tonight.
And great to hear that the body has held up well with 2 matches for for them. All right, the weekend, it started with the Magic and the Steel all the way down in Invercargill. And I tell you what, the Steel, they went so close in winning this one. They did get the bonus point, but the Magic Bailey Miz, she shot at 100% for majority of the game. Kate Burley, for me, she was outstanding with individual moments of brilliance. Still, they performed better this match, but there's still moments where they're just letting balls go and putting each other under pressure that I just think if they can tidy up, there were some moments in the match where they could have leveled up the score or even gone ahead with a centre pass in hand, but it's great to see the way the Steel have grown across the first 4 rounds.
Yes, and game 2 for round 4 of the ANZ Premiership was in Rangiora, the first game for the Tactics hosting the Pulse there. Well, another very, very close game between these two sides. The Tactics coming away with that win in the final few moments. Jane Watson picking up that MVP performance, another fantastic effort from her. As we've spoken about time and time again, that combination between herself and Berger was on fire, getting tips left, right and centre down the other end as well for the Pulse. Kelly Jury had a really strong game, so I was impressed by her. But for me, Amelia Wormsley, the young shooter, was impressive as well.
And game 3 was a top of the table clash in Tamaki Mikoto, the Mystics and the Stars. Monica Faulkner playing with a broken hand, 100% for most of the game, but it was her work rate and her connection with Grace, the way she fed that ball in. Both teams went on runs, but the Mystics crews, they even got to change around their defensive end, and they would be happy that they came away with that win. Yeah,
very close. Like you mentioned, it was 10 goals at one point, and the fact that the Stars came back, I think, is a credit to what the Stars can do. But yes, the Mystics will be really happy that they came away with that win.
Well, it's been a great weekend of netball, and it's always a big celebration when a player hits 100 games, and we congratulated another Centurion.
Yeah, playing 100 games is pretty special. Something probably when you play your first game and you play 5 minutes and you've sat on the bench for a season, you don't really see coming and you think it's so far away that am I ever going to get there? But now that it's in reach, it's so exciting.
So we had Charlotte Alec come on to win defence from the bench.
From memory, it was in Aussie. We were playing the Firebirds. I was so nervous. I was professional paper towel hander out girl. So to get on the netball court and actually do my job, what I was meant to be there for, was so special, and the adrenaline was just going. Growing up, I've always kind of said that Anna Harrison, Anna Scarlett, she was a Karamea girl, and it was quite cool to know that someone from a small town could make it and that didn't hold you back. So that was really exciting to have her. Standout moments, probably making the grand final a few times. Bit gutting that we didn't ever get that gold medal, but making it there and having that feeling as a team and being all together and going on the journey right through has been so special. I'm absolutely loving my time at the Magic. The girls have made my transition from coming from Tactics into Magic so easy. Day one, I went home and I rang Mitch and I said, I don't even feel like the new kid. Like, I don't know if this is weird and I should feel like the new kid, but I don't, because they've made me feel so comfortable. I'm just so grateful for the path that I've been on and all the players I've got to play with and the experiences I've had. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Well, a big congratulations to Charlotte for hitting 100 games. All right, Cruz, what do we got coming up?
Well, we're going back to Rangiora. Our roving reporter, Edina Makaire, is standing by. Edina, what's coming up on E-News tonight?
Just some sadness from losing, but you know what? E-News has always got to lift up that energy. We're here, we're ready. Cruz and Coco, thanks for having me, but we welcome in UK's finest. Get in there, girl. I don't like you because you just won, obviously, but welcome. No mic, Aotearoa. Welcome to New Zealand. Can you say Aotearoa? Aotearoa. Let's go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me ask you a little bit of questions. These are the important questions. What's Christchurch like? Do you like Christchurch? It's cold, but that's UK, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love it because it's nice and flat, which means I don't have to walk up any hills, and everybody's so welcoming and nice and chilled.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys smoked us out there today, but how'd you find getting around my big arms?
A challenge.
Yes, thanks. That's all I wanted to hear, only because we lost. But hey, now tell me about coming from UK to New Zealand. What's it been like? What's the gameplay like? Is it different? Is there anything you can give us about that?
Yeah, it's completely different, to be honest with you. You guys like to mark the space and we like to mark the body, so that is a different vision for me and a different way to defend. Also, you guys are just bigger. So there's just you are bigger people, so that gives a whole different vision to the game.
Nice, I like that. Okay, now that you're in Aotearoa, you've said Aotearoa, I'm going to ask you some Kiwi slang.
Okay.
See if you know any of the words. Okay, chili bin.
Ice baths?
Yeah, close enough. What about chur?
No idea.
Can you say chur ma chur?
Chur ma chur?
So whenever you see me out on court, I want to hear you say chur ma chur. That means like, what up?
Okay.
What up, E?
Chur ma chur?
Yeah, and what up, E?
What up, E?
Yeah, and I mohi o koe, do you know the word wharepaku? Because you work with Te Paia, so she better teach you some Māori. Wharepaku. What do you think wharepaku means?
Wharepaku.
Setting you up here.
Oh no, I don't know.
Guess any word. Wharepaku, what is it?
Wharepaku, I don't know. I know puku means belly.
Yeah, so if you got a sore puku, you need to go to the wharepaku. That must be
the doctors.
Oh, yeah, the doctors. Yes, right, correct. Don't teach anyone that. And, okay, last but not least, spill the roses tea, because you guys have high tea in England, eh?
Yeah.
Spill the roses tea with Auntie E. That's me. I'm your auntie, but I don't...
Okay. Roses. We're very good at headers, keepy-uppies, and I'm training these guys to be good at keepy-uppy, so maybe we can have some sort of competition when we meet up together again.
I got no idea what she just said. Keeping the peace or something. What is it?
Keepy-uppies, like football.
Righto, that's what we need to do. That's what the Ferns are going to do to get the roses. Good luck and the rest of that, but not when roses come up against New Zealand, not when we come up against you again. Okay, how can I get the ball off you next time?
You can't.
I will. But that's us at E! News. Thank you for coming to Aotearoa. Cheer my cheer.
Cheer my cheer.
Cheer Cruise.
Cheer E and Laura. Oh, we love that chaos every week. E! News. Also every week here on Netball Zone is our TikTok competition for everyone at home to get involved.
All right, netballers, we're calling you to get your groove on. Grab your teammates, all ages and stages, and see if you can do it better than the ANZ girls. To go into the draw, head over to the Sky Sport TikTok page. Learn the dance, grab the sound, and remember to hashtag Netball Zone in your entry. You'll be in to win over $2,000 worth of Puma gear to fully kit you and your netball team out. Make sure to follow them over on Instagram at Puma New Zealand.
I could have my Gucci on, I could wear my Louis Vuitton, but even with nothing on, that I made you look, yeah, I look good in my Versace dress.
Absolutely love it. Cruz, surely you've got some TikTok competitions to send in.
Yes, well, if you do have any TikTok competitions, make sure you send them in hashtag Netball Zone. And if you want to, hashtag chirp my chirp. Well, it is another episode of Netball Zone, which means another episode of Cruise Control, and it's a pulley system coming up tonight. Kia ora and welcome back to Cruise Control, a segment where we offer you tips to improve your netball game. Today we'll be looking at what we call the pulley system for the defensive end. The perfect time to implement this defensive structure is when both shooters are working closely together in the circle. You'll have one defender calling the switch, confusing the open space on the shooters. Once 2 or 3 switches have happened between the defenders, that space will be open, the ball will be released, the defender will shut that space down and gain the intercept.
Well, chirp my chirp for that one. Another one of my favourite segments every week. Right, it's time now for a trip down memory lane with Silver Fern number 26, who's got a special connection to the Tactics.
Prior to the start of this year's ANZ Premiership, the Mainland Tactics gathered to present the famous red and black kit to the squad of 2023. To add to the occasion, the Tactics invited a special guest.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I've talked to some of these lovely ladies, tall ladies, in their red uniforms.
Colleen Falloon represented Canterbury and New Zealand in the early 1960s, making her debut in the black dress at just 17 years old, a record that still stands today.
The team had been picked to go to the 1963 World Netball Tournament. We were away for over 3 months. We went by ship. That was over a month. Before breakfast, we went up onto the first class sports deck and we practiced. In the afternoon, we did ball handling. A net was put up for the shooters to practice shooting. It got pretty hot, but yes, we did practiced every day. We had no idea what it would be like. We'd only played Australia in the 1960, and we knew how they played. And by playing one game a day, we were able to watch the other teams as they played. And, it was quite an experience. Everything was just so new, and everything was exciting, and we just did the best we could, and it was just being taken here and taken there, and you felt so special.
Colleen went on to play 11 tests for New Zealand before later discovering a passion for marathon running. At Masters level, she's won multiple national titles, and at the age of 79, just recently completed her 152nd event.
It's that utter feeling of bliss and happiness going over the finish line and think, hey, I've done it. With each marathon you get a medal, and I've got a wall of medals at home, and it's really when the grandchildren come and say, wow, Nana, how many have you got? And I'll start and count. And I think, gosh, yes, I've done all these. The time seems to have gone so fast because it's been so exciting with different places. And when we go to, a whole group goes down to do the Rotorua Marathon, and the whole group goes to Wellington, you just see all your friends, and they say, come on, and you're doing well, just round the corner, and you think you're lying. It's just that cult almost. Yeah, I've just trained all my life. Hope I can hold together a bit longer.
Well, kia ora, Colleen. How special was that?
Yeah, hea tāhua rawa ki te rongo ki te hitori o te kēmu nei. Nō reira, mihi ana kia koe whaia Colleen Falloon.
Oh, great story. All right, it's time to welcome in our special guest for the show, Temepara Bailey, all the way from the Gold Coast. Well, Bubby, thank you so much for joining us. How's life on the Gold Coast?
Oh, thank you for having me. It's lovely over here. The weather's obviously always hot here, loving it over here.
And of course, Bubby, coaching the Gold Coast Titans. Firstly, how's that going? But also the special edition of Cat Latu. How exciting is that for your team?
Yeah, coaching the Gold Coast Titans has been awesome. I mean, there's been obviously a lot of challenges with starting up a new franchise under a rugby league umbrella. And this year, like you said, we're lucky enough to have Cat Latu join our roster of 10 players. So it's just going to be awesome, not just for the team, but for the club and the community here on the coast.
And are you going to have a tough time coaching Cat, Bubby, because she is a friend to you as well? Will she listen to you?
She knows me as Bossy Bubby when we played together, so I'm hoping that hasn't gone out of her. But so I kind of look after the defensive end, obviously overall see it overall, and then assistant coach looks after that shooting circle. So I'll be speaking to him, which will go via to her. But if I see something, it's direct information.
Now, Bubby, of course it is the World Cup in July, and you've been to many. You've also been to Commonwealth Games. You've done a number of tours. I mean, when you think back on your amazing career, what's sort of some memories that pop out for you?
Oh, yeah, World Cup. Just the excitement and the lead up going into a World Cup. You do a lot of training, you have a lot of camps, and you do all those things together as a group. And the bond that you get together a year or two out from the actual World Cup, and then when it creeps up pretty close in the next couple of months, that gets really exciting and the butterflies start turning. So I can imagine how these girls are at the moment. But also just being in that 12, is it 12? Yeah, 12 going to the World Cup is just an honour to represent your country.
Bubby, we've actually got some vision that we want to show you, and we'll watch you watch this and see if you remember this or your thoughts on this moment.
Oh, look, there she is again. The crowd are on their feet. They just love her. She's a little dynamo.
Bubby, we're just watching the vision from the 2003 World Cup in the moment where you were sent off by the umpire down that other end of the court. I mean, firstly, what were your moments, what were your thoughts, in those moments? Did you feel like you lost the game for the team in that moment?
Well, initially I was on my knees and I got up, I said I didn't even touch her. I can remember and feel the feeling right now, and it's like, how many, 50 years ago? But yeah, walking along that baseline, I think I've quoted being saying it was the longest walk to the bench. And what kind of made it better was the Jamaican crowd was yelling out, boo, and I thought they were yelling at me, but they were actually yelling at the umpire. But sitting there, I was just like, oh my God, I've left these girls on the court against who were the best in the world at the time. Geez, when I get back on, I've got to do something to redeem myself.
Well, watching the vision back, Bubby, I can say the call was absolutely outrageous. You clearly got the intercept. Now, it is ANZ Premiership time. Your competition doesn't start till the end of April, but your thoughts on the ANZ Premiership so far and how important it is in a World Cup year?
Yeah, I've been loving it, actually. It's the first time I've sat down and watched...
You still there, Bubby?
Sorry, yes. No, I've
Bubby, we're just talking about the ANZ Premiership and how much you've been enjoying it.
Yeah, no, actually loving it. I've enjoyed watching it right from the beginning, and it just seems like it's an even spread across all teams. Obviously, there's been a couple of injuries in some, but it's up for grabs. You know, you can't predict who's actually going to take the competition.
Well, Bubby, thank you so much for joining us on Netball Zone. We wish you all the very best, and hopefully we'll see you back coaching in New Zealand sometime soon.
You never know, Coco. You never know.
Oh, we'll take it. Thank you, Bubby, so much. Oh, my gosh. So always great to hear from her.
Yeah, and she's a legend of the game, as we mentioned before, Coco. So it's so great to hear the history of the game, what it meant to her as well, and also what she's doing in life right now.
All right. Well, this week in the ANZ Premiership, there were some very, very close games. The Steel, they went close. They got a bonus point, actually, Cruz, but the Magic, they were too strong. Only 1 point in it between the Tactics and the Pulse. You were at that one. Great game. Mystics, top of the table clash with the Stars. They just edged them out and were too strong. The Stars did well to fight their way back into that one. And then the Tactics Magic, they doubled up this weekend, and the Tactics, they were just too strong. So what does this mean for the ladder, Cruz? Because both Auckland teams, they were on top. They were on top for about 24 hours, and then the Tactics with that win over the Magic, that strong performance tonight, has shot them up into first place, sitting on 12. Second and third is decided between the Stars and the Mystics. The Pulse and the Magic again even on 7, and the Steel with that bonus point on Saturday on the ladder with 1 point. All right, coming up this weekend, we head to Dunedin on Saturday, the Steel and the Mystics. Then we head to Porirua. Cruz, I think you're going to be down there. Pulse and Magic, that is going to be an absolute clash. Then again on Sunday, Stars, Tactics. Tactics got that win in round 1, so it'll be interesting. Sorry, the Tactics did, so it'll be interesting to see how the Stars bounce back. And then Monday night, the Pulse and Mystics, Porirua. We'll wrap it all up here on Netball Zones, also Inside Netball on Thursday night. But Cruz, how good is ANZ Premiership? Yeah, a quarter of the way through the competition so far, Coco, but it's great to see the performances out on there, specifically from individual players as well, and I look forward to the rest of the season. Well, we cannot wait. Thank you so much for joining us on Netball Zone, and we'll see you again next week.